Hello and welcome to today's episode of Ask the Guitar Coach. Here's our question for the day. Do I always need to practice guitar for many hours for my whole life? Excellent question. Excellent question. This is a question we have not answered before in Ask the Guitar Coach, and I'm very happy to be able to answer this question in this episode. And why am I happy? Because I usually bring you, well, I won't say bad news, but news that have to do with a lot of work and a lot of practicing. And this time it's going to be a little different. So let's see. No, you don't have to practice for your whole life for 4, 5 or 6 hours. Once you reach the level that you're happy with, it takes much less work, much less effort to stay at that level. Now, why don't you hear it all the time? Well, I have no idea. It's very surprising to me that this is one of the most widely kept secrets on guitar playing, that you only need to practice for a period of time until you reach a good level that you're happy with, and then you don't need to be practicing all the time to stay at that level. Let me give you an example. If you've been wanting to get really good and you've been practicing for a few years, for 4, 5, maybe even 6 hours a day, and then you reach a point when you're happy with your playing, how much time do you think per day you need to play to keep this level? Most people that I ask this question, they will say that it will take 1 to 1.5 hours. And the truth is, way less. It can be half an hour, and on specific cases, as little as 15 minutes per day. And if you like guitar, if you like music, and if you enjoy playing, you will definitely be playing 15 to 20 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes for the rest of your life, even if it's just for fun. Now, I'm sure this is very cool news and very happy news, and makes everybody happy, because I don't know even one person that relishes the thought of practicing 5 or 6 hours per day, every day, for the rest of his life. This is something that you can do when you're young. This is something that you can do maybe before you have a family, but eventually, reality sinks in and the real world catches up, and then you have less time per day to practice. And it's really, really comforting to know, and I'm telling this to you for sure, that if you can just play 15 to 20 to 30 minutes per day, you can keep your playing level pretty much untouched, like maybe 1 or 2% fluctuation. So the reason why this works like that is because of muscle memory. This is something that people that do weight training or bodybuilding know it very well, that if you have reached a specific level and then for some reason you give up on your training, then it takes very little time to go very close to that level that you were. And then again, things slow down afterwards. Once you reach the previous level, it will slow down as if you just reached it for the first time, and you have to work a lot to move more than that. But if you want to reach a previous level, it's quite easy. Let me give you an example to illustrate the specific point. Let's suppose that you have a place where there was no road, so cars could not go over there, could not pass through. And then the Department of the Road Construction will start a road and will create a road over there. Once the road is done and everything is paved, for some reason nobody goes through that road, and it gets neglected. What will happen is that some dirt is going to be on the road, maybe some rocks will go over there, and maybe even some plants will go and develop. So the road is definitely going to be non-usable after 15 or 20 years. However, if for some reason someone decides to use this road again, it's going to be way, way easier to clear out this road than it would be to create in the very first place. So if it took, let's say, 1,000 man-hours to create the road in the first place, it's only going to take less than 50 to clean the road and bring it back to its prime condition. It's exactly the same way with your playing. If it took you 1,000 hours to reach a specific playing level, and then for some reason you neglected it, not necessarily dropped off guitar altogether, but just stopped practicing at all, so your playing shrunk and is now underdeveloped, it's only going to take you like 20 or 50 hours to reach your previous level, or at least go very, very close to it. And as I said, this is really good news because you only have to do your practicing once in your life. And let me clarify this a little bit because it can be a thing that gets people both excited, but they also misunderstand it. If you want to develop to a certain level, you only need to go through the growing pains of that level once. Once you are there, it's quite easy to stay at that level with very little maintenance practice. Now, there are some caveat emptors. That means that you don't just play whatever and you stay in this specific playing level. You have to be practicing specific things, but if you have reached the level in the first place, you know what things you need to practice to get there. So I hope this helps, and this is some happy news for most people listening and watching this podcast. Keep those questions coming. I have a lot of fun answering them, and I'll see you on the next episode of Ask the Guitar Coach.